Patrick Jane might not have superpowers, but sometimes it feels like he does. The way he reads people, predicts moves, and bends reality around him is insane. So today I'm breaking down 8 of his craziest abilities that make him feel almost unreal. Patrick Jane's mind works in a way that's almost hard to describe. In the first episode, you can tell right away that he's operating on a different frequency. Everyone's analyzing evidence, taking notes, building theories while he's already done. It's like his brain runs 20 tabs at once and somehow none of them crash. He walks into a room, looks around for a few seconds, and already has a full mental map of what happened. The crazy part is, he doesn't even seem to try. There's no build-up, no dramatic pause or anything. He just knows. He connects details people overlook because for him, noticing things is as natural as breathing. It's not really about showing off or proving he's smarter. It's just who he is. You can tell he's lived so long in his head that thinking like this became normal. It makes you wonder how often he's pretending to listen while he's actually 6 steps ahead, piecing together things no one else even noticed yet. And that's where his next strength really kicks in. Jane doesn't just notice what's in front of him, he reads the space around people like it's a story. You can watch him walk into a room and instantly sense the shift in his attention. His eyes scan, but not in an obvious way. It's more casual, like he's bored, even though he's catching everything. In Red Badge, when Teresa starts breaking down, he spots it before anyone else realizes something's off.
Shrink day, huh?
No.
Yes. Yes. You have the line between your eyebrows. Besides, you smell a little of his cigar smoke.
That's what makes him dangerous. He doesn't need proof, he just sees the truth sitting in plain sight. He feels people's nervous energy, their guilt, their fear, and he reads it all like a language only he understands. You can tell he's done this his whole life, probably since he was a kid trying to survive by paying attention. Every case he works feels like a continuation of that instinct, like noticing what others miss, then acting like it was obvious all along. Watching him do it is both fascinating and a little unsettling, because it makes you realize how many things you ignore every day. He'll notice a shaky hand, a glance toward the door, a single offbeat laugh, and somehow that's enough for him to build a theory that turns out right. It's a skill that borders on obsession, and it's what makes the next part of his personality so intense. Because when Jane decides to steer a situation, you can feel the shift instantly. His tone changes, his posture changes, and suddenly everyone around him is following a rhythm he's quietly setting. He always plays the suspect like a violin, either by pretending to be psychic, acting clueless, or smiling just enough to make the villain drop his guard. It's neither forceful or aggressive. It's smooth, calm, calculated. He knows how people want to feel understood, and he gives them that just long enough to pull information out of them. There's something strangely satisfying about watching it, even though you know it's unethical. He's not just manipulating criminals either, because he does it to his friends, to bosses, to anyone who gets in the way of what he wants. But it never feels random. Every word, every silence, every sarcastic comment is part of a setup that he's already 10 steps into. Sometimes it's for justice, sometimes for revenge, and sometimes just to see if he still can. You get the sense he's addicted to that control, the quiet power of making people react exactly how he wants them to. And once you see that side of him, you start to understand why he's so persuasive. He doesn't just control people by logic or threats, he makes them want to listen. And, you know, his version of persuasion isn't about winning arguments, it's all about rhythm. He knows exactly when to speak, when to pause, and when to look someone in the eye long enough for them to second-guess themselves. He changed the tempo of a situation until people start matching it. He's persuasive because he doesn't fight for control. He just takes it without anyone noticing. You can see how people, even the ones who hate him, end up trusting him when it matters. They sense he knows something they don't, and that draws them in. It's not hypnosis, nor charm, or some hidden agenda. It's confidence that feels earned. He listens, reflects, and then redirects. And the wild part is how he makes it all seem casual, like he's improvising, when really he's guiding every word. It's easy to forget that persuasion is just another part of human psychology, and he's mastered it through years of reading fear and desire like it's second nature. But what happens when words aren't enough? When logic can't reach the truth? That's when he starts going deeper into the mind itself. Hypnosis is where Jane starts to feel almost supernatural. The first time you see him do it, it's so subtle. There's no dramatic countdowns or swinging watches, just his calm voice slipping through someone's defenses like a key in a lock.
How are you feeling? Good? Tingling in your hands? Up and down. Let yourself drift away.
He makes people feel safe enough to open doors in their mind they didn't even know were locked. What's interesting is how ordinary it looks. He just talks, asks a few questions, lowers his tone, and suddenly the person's eyes soften, and you can see the shift happen right there. The tension melts, breathing slows, and truth starts to surface. It's almost unsettling how easily he does it, because you realize it's not at all about some tricks, it's about understanding how fragile people are when they're vulnerable, and Jane respects that most of the time. But sometimes, when the case demands it, he crosses that line. You can sense the hesitation in his face, that split-second debate before he pushes deeper than he should. It's a reminder that he's not just solving crimes, but navigating people's minds, and one wrong step could break them. Yet that same risk is what makes his next skill so fascinating, because when words and hypnosis fail, Jane turns to something far more tactile. Jane's brain might get all the attention, but his hands deserve their own spotlight. He's got this way of moving that makes you forget he's doing anything at all, until you realize he's already done it. Like, look at this.
Just dip and remove, no hesitation. Want to give it a try?
Did you feel that?
Well, just slightly. Did you feel that?
You're good.
There's no hesitation, no wasted motion. Everything is smooth, quiet, invisible. You can tell he's done this for years, not just as part of his cons, but because he genuinely enjoys the craft. It's physical intelligence, precision, coordination, timing. The same attention to detail that fuels his observations shows up here, but through muscle memory instead of thought. It's almost hypnotic to watch. He'll fiddle with a coin, tap a card, distract a whole room with a joke, and while everyone's laughing, he's already 2 steps ahead. Let's not forget how he helped Dr. Steiner out of his misery with a simple coin movement.
It's there. And then it's gone.
That scene is so chilling and fascinating at the same time. Every small trick is a reminder that he's in control, that chaos can still be bent into order with the right touch. But what makes this skill even more impressive is how it fits into his larger game, how all these little moves connect into plans that no one sees coming until they're already finished. Even though Jane works with detectives, he doesn't plan like a detective. He plans like a storyteller who already knows the ending. Every move he makes looks random until it suddenly isn't. He lets people think he's being reckless, even foolish, while he's actually laying out traps days in advance. He's patient in a way that makes him dangerous, like the guy will lose 10 small battles just to win the war. And there's something almost cold about how he does it, like he's detached from everything except the outcome. But it's not just some calculation, his plans actually have personality. They're theatrical, ironic, sometimes even funny, like he's performing for himself as much as for the case. That's part of what makes him such a unique strategist. He doesn't need full control, he just needs momentum, and he trusts his instincts to carry him through the rest. And when it all unfolds, it feels less like he's playing chess and more like he's rewriting the rules mid-game. But underneath all that genius and planning, there's still one ability that ties everything together. The one thing that makes him feel almost superhuman. This is the skill that defines Patrick Jane more than anything else. Cold reading is what made him famous back when he played a fake psychic, and it's what keeps him unbeatable as a consultant. Remember how he broke the facade of a guy that was pretending to be slow?
That root beer coming? Why don't you just talk to me, Thomas? There's no point in hiding anymore. I can see you. What do you want to know?
Everyone was shocked, but he knew all along. He doesn't need evidence or witnesses, Jane just looks, listens, and gets it. You can tell he's not guessing, but reading a whole conversation that isn't being spoken. The direction of someone's eyes, how their breathing changes, the rhythm of their voice, literally every tiny thing becomes a piece of data he processes in real time. Most people would miss all of it, but for Jane, it's about instinct. He's not psychic, we all know that, but he is observant to a level that almost feels supernatural. He sees through lies because he understands why people tell them, and maybe that's why watching him never gets old. Him figuring out who the killer was is insanely sharp, unsettling, and kind of beautiful in a way. The truth is, Patrick Jane's abilities don't stop at 8. The guy's a walking web of contradictions that somehow all work together. Beneath the mind games and theatrics, there's this quiet cunning, the way he lies without lying, how he can twist a story just enough for people to reveal themselves, his psychological depth, how deeply he understands guilt, grief, and pride. I'd have to make 5 videos about all of his abilities, but I decided to pick a few of the more important ones. What makes Jane different than any other character is that through all of this he had resilience. He's been broken more than once, but he always finds a way to rebuild himself just enough to keep going. That's the real power behind Patrick Jane. Not the tricks or the intellect, but how he keeps his mind sharp and his heart intact after everything he's been through.